to tell you a story about a little girl who always dreamt of having her own business, failed midway, but is ready to start again. Many years ago, there was a little girl who loved fashion. She loved clothing, she loved shoes, she loved all things pretty. She and her group of friends were designing their own fashion boutique store on a notebook, and she would find these newspaper cutouts of pretty dresses and magazines to stick them in her boutique and sell to customers. She would design her own clothing as well, and she was obsessed with the Barbie game Eye for Style. And she would design the interior of the store. Reality caught on and she continued on her education, eventually got into university. During that time, e-commerce started to become a thing. Everyone was doing online business. So she thought, finally, my time to shine. And so with that dream in her heart, she went out to start her own store. She had a part-time internship during that summer in the first year of university. For the half of the day where she didn't have anything to do, she would go around sourcing pretty items, and because that dream burnt so fervently in her heart for so many years, she bought all the outfits, set up the Instagram page, website. In 2 to 3 days, had everything up and running by 2 weeks. Weeks passed by and it seemed like nobody was interested in the product. At the end, she only made 5 sales, and that devastated her. She was brokenhearted. She couldn't understand why those clothing were so nice, but it seemed like nobody was buying them. She would dream of having piles and piles of stock sitting there, and people just walking past them, mocking her. She wanted the clothes that made her happy to make other people happy as well, but that just wasn't the case. And because of this, she put her dream aside and continued on with life. But that dream always stuck with her at the back of her mind. She knew that she didn't want to die with a regret of wondering whether the store would actually become successful, of whether she can fulfill her dream. She didn't want to have that in the grave. She wanted to realize that in the world. In those 2 years between wondering about starting and not going for it, she started reading books on business, listening to podcasts, watching other people build their business from the ground up. One day, during the 3rd year in university, she did a project on fashion, and that's when her dream of having her own fashion boutique rekindled. She would try and give it all her best, and if it fails, then it fails. The fear that has held her back didn't matter, and she knew that with enough dedication, she would be able to make it. And if you didn't know by now, that little girl in the story is me. From a very young age, I always remember loving business, loving fashion. I loved dressing up, looking pretty. I would remember going shopping and always picking the nice heels, picking the nice outfits. Bad outfits would always bother me. It's after exams, and I'm sure if you've watched my other law-related videos, I do spend a lot of time studying, but now, since it's summertime, it's time for me to realize my dream. In these 2 years, I've actually watched people build their business from the ground up on YouTube, taking people on the journey. I was so inspired, and this is why I'm doing this series of videos, taking you on a journey of how I'm going to rebuild my online fashion store. It's called The Dressery. It has a nice vintage luxurious touch to it, and I hope these videos inspire you to do the same, to go chase after your dreams regardless of what other people say about it. It will be launching in around later this month or June. In every video, I'll be wearing a different outfit from the collection that I've built, so you get a preview of what actually I'm going to sell in the store. And I cannot wait for you guys to see the awesome packaging, and I've prepared so much, and I just hope with beautiful clothes, it also makes you more confident and let your inner beauty shine through. Outward beauty only means so much. It is the inner beauty and the inner qualities that we develop that ultimately matter. Product selection is one of the most important bits. You want to have a quality product. It has to be tried and tested. A bakery or a restaurant, they have to test recipes. There are millions and millions of clothes out there. New clothes are being made every single day, but quality pieces only come along every so often. One of the things I do best at is spotting those rare pieces which are elegant, feminine, classy, and feels luxurious. I spent a considerable amount of time testing a lot of products. My very first line, I'll show you what it looks like over here. It's very colorful, very frills based. It was elegant, but then that was 2 years ago, and I definitely need new products, right? Before I came up with the most recent collection, actually I also went through one cycle of testing. These are some of the pieces which I was going to originally sell when I relaunched the Dressery. But after a few photo sessions, I realized they weren't the type of elegant clothing I was looking for. I spent a lot of time seeking out those rare jewels. Whatever I put my brand on, it has to pass me. I'm not okay with selling subpar products. I have to test them out. I have to know they look good. And I have to imagine it on other people as well. At the end of the day, I'm selling for customers. So how do you find your inventory? This is a very popular question. People often go online to find suppliers. Other than that, I go find suppliers in these gigantic factory-sized distribution centers. There are at least 300 to 400 of these stores. Each store, they specialize in a niche of clothing. For example, it would be edgy, girly jeans, high-end dresses. So I go to these stores, as you will see in the following footage.
Everyone, so this is me sourcing some of the clothes. As you can see, there are many styles here, and this is the owner, Candy. We've just had a long chat. She gave me some great tips on how to choose clothes, fabrics, fitting, cuttings, everything. This is so great. So that's my order right there. You guys will see it in the store soon.
The reason I prefer physical sourcing is because you get to touch the fabric in real time. Online, the fabric are often made to look more luxurious than they actually are. So here in person, I get to check the material of the fabric, the weight, the details. For example, the buttons, the seams, the cuttings. Just a tip for when you go shopping, always choose material that is dense. Don't choose those that are flimsy. When I first saw this in the store, I knew this was the one. I never had any formal fashion training. I'm not a fashion student. It's just something inborn. Sometimes you are just born with a sense for something. Maybe it would be for numbers. For me, it would be clothing. It would be for style. It's very important for me to test out how the products would work as well. So I've worn this 5-6 times, washed it. I know that it can withstand the wash. Quality is amazing. Buttoning, the linings, everything. A sneak peek of my favorite product, an orange and magenta 100% silk dress. Packaging. Packaging is a big part of your brand, and in the beginning, when I first built the dressery, this is something I completely did not consider. I just shipped out my clothing in a standard shipping bag provided by the post office. That, as you can imagine, is very unsightly. And so since then, I've learned how to create the ultimate unpackaging experience. I did this by looking at luxury brand unboxing videos. You can actually learn a lot. It's not what you know, it's about whether you know what you need to know. Everything that the customer receives is part of your brand. It's not only the product itself. My idea is to have a craft box embossed with the dressery logo containing a burgundy box which would be sealed by the dressery ribbon, custom made. And then when you open the box, you'll see an envelope with the dressery logo inside containing a thank you card and the invoice. Next to that, you'll have the tissue paper sealed with the dressery sticker, and then finally a garment care and also a discount card. If you like this series, remember to tune in for part 2 of the video where I'll be unpackaging a lot of the packaging material and clothing labels that I've ordered for the clothes. If you're interested in seeing more daily updates and more behind the scenes, remember to go follow The Dressery Official on Instagram, give this video a like and subscribe, and don't forget to always chase after your dreams. Bye!